Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. All right, guys and gals, we have most traders off this morning. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. We're going to do a quick review. Adam, good morning to you. Peter, Carter, top of the morning to you. Let's do a quick review. Let's look at oil first of all. Let's get right into this. And we're going to call it early this morning. So you guys and gals have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll hit it back Friday. But I want to go over a review this morning on the setups. Gerald's recording this, so he's going to send this out to you. First of all, let's look at the big move down we had this morning. We had a big breakdown, a number 2 breakdown right here this morning already. This provided a huge move in the market this morning from the LVA breakdown, low value area. Remember, we do not buy LVA. Paul, good morning to you. We do not buy LVA. We look to sell LVA on the break with symmetry dots. So we had a real big breakdown at LVA, low value area. There's your exact bar entry on a number 2 trade. If you need to print out a quick sheet on our trade setups, I want you to download this later on in the session. I just posted it in the room right there. That tells me a quick sheet of 1 page how to do these 1, 2, 3 setups. I'm going to break it down this morning for you also. Let's look what we're looking at now. We only have 3 market profile setups, only 3. A number 1, a number 2, and a number 3. The number 2 hit right here this morning on price profile at 93.14 with the break of symmetry dots right here. Hey Jay, good morning to you. So that's a number 2. So when you break down through a number 2, what you want to look for is you want to look for a retest of order flow. So the next trade we're looking for this morning for you traders will be right up into this level of 93.12, 93.13. And then you're going to look for a continuation short. You're going to look for a drop straight down in the market. So what we're trying to do here is we timed the market for this trade right here. Some of you guys were in here this morning. You can see we broke symmetry dots. These symmetry dots are really good areas of support or resistance at key market profile levels, LV and HVA. So if they're within 5 ticks of LVA or HVA, this being LVA, low value area, and the symmetry dots get broken, there's your exact bar entry to go short. If that trade is too fast for you, you can look for a retest of the number 2 breakdown, which is LVA. LVA is at 93.14. You can see it right here on the 5-minute chart, 93.14. So retest of 93.14 would be the short. You look for it to come up, show divergence on the bottom oscillator, and then give us a red reversal bar on our chart. Well, consequently, at the same time, at the bottom left, we have volume profile at 93.13 also. So that's HVA. HVA is the red dots. LVA is the green dots. So HVA, remember, on the bottom left, we have a volume-based profile. We have a price-based profile. We trade only 3 setups off market profile, number 1, number 2, number 3. We've been doing that for 3 years in the room. And they're notorious for calling the swing highs and swing lows. So what we're looking for is a pullback to 93.13 for a number 1 on volume profile, and then a pullback to 93.12 to 93.14 on price profile for a number 3. So we got confluence here. We got confluence on a number 3 pullback and a number 1 confluing at the same level. So let me go over the overall method, and we'll go back to this real quick. And Gerald's recording this. Let me go over the overall method this morning for you. Make sure we understand what we're doing. The first thing you're going to log in, do, guys and gals, the first order of business is establish the bias, the 5-minute with the 5-minute MAs. When you first log in, I don't care when you log in, 7 o'clock, 7:30. A lot of traders just trade. I teach them to trade from 7:45 in the morning to 10:45 is a really good spot. But it doesn't matter what time you log in here in the morning. You have to establish bias. That's the first order of business. Okay? I know, Dan, there won't be one this week. The first order of business would be this. So that's to establish the bias. Establish the bias, the 5-minute MAs. You first look at the price profile. You look at the 5-minute moving averages. If they are crossed down, which they are, and this is your dominant moving averages, pink or magenta moving averages angled, there's only sells. There's no longs at all, period. You don't take any longs. So since this morning, since 3:30 this morning, 3:30 a.m., you don't take any longs. In fact, my number 1 trade called the exact high in the market right here. My price profile called the exact high in the market for you early morning traders that are overseas that trade this thing. right here, my hedge fund and my price profile, where my cursor's at, you can see it hit the red dots. If the moving averages are in a downtrend, the first order of business is a number one trade. What a number one trade says, if moving averages are down, we do not take any longs. We're not counter trend traders. So no longs. I want to sell the first test if it comes within 3 ticks of these red dots on volume profile at the bottom left or price profile. So for you early morning traders, we got a number one short right here called the exact high almost to the exact tick. That happens a lot in the room. We ignore the green dots in a downtrend because we're not buying there. We look to sell number two, which I'll go over in a second. They're called the big breakdown here. So the first order of business, establish the 5-minute bias is down. We're down. We're going to look to sell the first test of these red dots, either on price profile or volume profile. They're called the high to the almost exact tick this morning. Then what we're going to do is, if it doesn't reach a number one, it says number one, short or buy first test of HVA or LV off on volume or price profile, right? Off the 2 5-minute charts of 5-minute trend. We're going to have 2 5-minute charts, the bottom left, and right, price profile is only on these 2 5-minute charts. There's the red dots, called the high this morning, right? And here's the red dot this morning I'm looking for, 93.13 volume profile, which is HVA and LV at 93.14. So that's a number one short called the high for your early morning traders. Then there's a number 3 retest. There's only 4 retracement trades with trend in the room. The number one short called the high off the red right here. Number 3 retest of HVA or LVA with 5-minute trend after break of 5-minute HVA or LVA. So we have number 3 retest. So if you don't catch the number one, that happened too early this morning for you, some morning traders. Then you're going to look for it to come down to LVA, break LVA, retest LVA, and that'll be a continuation trade. So we're looking for a retest on the number 3 right here at 93.12 and 93.13. Consequently, that's a number one trade. It's a first test of volume profile over here at 93.13 also. So I got a retest on the number 3 coming up at 93.14. So I got 2 confluence trades coming up. I got a confluence trade of my number one short on volume profile and my price profile of a number 3. They're confluing at the same level. Then the next trade, I have 4 retracement trades of trend. I have a 2-minute trade right now, 2-minute on the upper left-hand corner. It's an ATR. It's right into it right now. It's an ATR short. When you get into 2-minute trade, first retest the magenta or cyan dots with 5-minute and 2-minute trend. The moving averages have to be crossed in your direction. On the 5 and 2-minute, we're right into an ATR trade right now. We're right into it. That's an ATR trade. The 4th trade signal that I have, it's called a J signal. And what a J signal is, it's a Fibonacci chart, Fibonacci-based system that works on your own chart. And what that is, I'll just show you from 7:30 this morning, is that it shows you that we've only had sells this morning on J signal. What they are retracements with trend, and they do take the counters also. But it tells you when this market has a high probability of retracing. So the J signal is very simple. All it does is looks for the retracement, gives you red dots when the market has a high probability of rolling over with trend. There's a retracement trade. Here's a retracement trade. Very simple. This works on your own charts. Typically, if the market wasn't slow today, I'd show it in the room on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but I don't even show this in the room. I show that you have this on your own charts. It's a $150 a month lease. It works on all markets. I have a couple neat things with this system. I have a 5-minute built-in trend filter right here. There's your 5-minute trend filter saying the bias is down. And here's my line in the sand, my black line saying the market is down, no buys. And then we got these red Fibonacci dots that fire off. And your best trade is going to be a bullseye trade that happens when you get a yellow dot right on top of the red dot. That means we have divergence on a retracement pullback. That's your best trade you can get. But this works on all markets right across the board. It's called J signal. And that's a retracement trade with trend. It caught that swing high this morning, caught this swing high. My bullseye caught this last swing high right here too. So this is what we like to use on our own charts in all markets called J signal. So we really only have 4 retracement trades. If you want to be a retracement trader, we got the number 1 sell-off market profile. We got the number 3 retest of market profile. We got the 2-minute ATR trade, right? And then we got the J signal on your own charts that shows automatic Fibonacci dots with a built-in trend filter on all markets. It works on every single market right across the board, forex, stocks, and also futures. So those are retracement trades. Very simple in the room. It's not hard to pick the setups. It's very simple, actually. Once it's like riding a bike. Once you know how to do it, you don't think, you execute. And the thing about with trading in the room, very simple. You establish bias, 5-minute moving averages down. We didn't take no long since 3:30 this morning a.m. So we're not taking longs. How do we get short? Well, there's two market profile charts. One has the moving averages here, price profile. The bottom left has the same moving averages, volume profile. So you saw the first test of price profile or volume profile on the red dots. That caught the high this morning. Right now, we're looking for the red dots now are at 93.13, showing volume profile at 93.13. Should have a big area of resistance right there on a retracement. The number 3 has a big area at 93.14 on number 3. So if you're in a downtrend, saw the first test of the red within 3 ticks. Look for a red reversal bar on your chart over here. And then once you break volume profile, our volume low value area, we don't buy low value area. We look for a retest of low value area. We're going to look for a retest on a number 3 continuation at 93.14. So number 1, number 2, number 3 for market profile, only 3 trades to do. Now 2 momentum trades are very simple. I have a number 2 breakdown that happened, called that big huge breakdown right here at 93.14. Number 2 trade with 5-minute trend must break LVA or HVA with 5-minute trend only, using my symmetry dots as an entry. Symmetry dots must be within 5 ticks as preferred. So when it came down to 93.14, my symmetry dots were 93.10 right below it. Once it closed 1 candle below it, right, 2/3 candle close or candle below it, 2/3 body candle close or candle below it. This called my trade called the exact push down, this huge push to the exact bar. And that's how we do things. My number 1 called the exact high. My number 2 called the exact breakdown. And I'm anticipating my number 1 and number 3 conflude to call the exact retracement short again. Just like my ATR trade over here in the upper left, called the exact high here too. My trades are notorious for calling these swing highs and swing lows because we trade order flow. Look at my ATR called the exact high at 92.76. Right here's your ATR at 92.76. That was the high. 92.77 was a swing. Goes right back down on my ATR trade. Right there's my retracement trade, 2-minute ATR. Okay? So the bottom line is you only have 4 retracement trades, but you see how they work. My number 1 called the high this morning. My number 2 called the breakdown here. My ATR just called the short here at 92.76. I said was lined up when I started this video. And then I got the number 3. I'm looking for a retest of LVA at 93.14. Very, very simple rules that you apply. We've been doing these exact setups the last 3 years. We only get around 2 to 4 setups a morning. You have an average of 15 minutes to an hour heads up on these setups. Very long time to wait for these setups. It's not buy now, sell now, buy now, sell now. We're not scalpers in the room. We take our time. We look for the setups on the retracements. We're good to go. Our momentum setup caught this huge momentum setup at 93.14 on the downside. Now my ATR, I said we're in the ATR called the exact swing high again. So these are the setups you want to do. 4 retracement setups in the room. 3 in the room, 1 with J signal, 2 momentum setups. I got the number 2 breakdown here, and I got the opening range trade. We do have an opening range trade. What an opening range trade is this? These black lines come up. These black lines come up at 9 a.m. at the pit open. I do a buy stop below, 5-tick buy or sell stop limit if you want, below or above the number. And we take the opening range long or short. Members know how to do that. We give you this to the members in the room, the methodology how to do that. But that's all we do. Very simple methodology in the room. We have 4 retracement setups with trend, called the high this morning, called the big breakdown. Now I'm looking, see, I got way heads up. I got 45-minute heads up, half-hour heads up, 20-minute heads up. I know 13 is my sell point right here. This is not a lagging indicator. We trade price action and volume. Price action volume say we sell 93.13 to 93.14 right here on the first test. We have a big heads up in the trading room, just like the big heads up on the ATR. There's my ATR trade right there. I told you the ATR right there is a trade setup. Came right up to it, stopped it right to the, what, almost to the tick. just like the number one did. We do this every single day in the trading room. Okay?